I'm Blake Anthony, and this is The Real Real. What up, y'all? It's your boy Blake Anthony with another Real Real. This reel, I had to dive in and talk about the Cleveland Browns. Now, I know it's not much to talk about because it is Cleveland and it is the Browns. But they're sitting with 4 quarterbacks right now. Nothing that's not surprising. Dylan Gabriel, a guy that I like coming in the draft, Taylor Green, of course, Shedeur Sanders, and then Big Bucks Watson. Now, why would I waste my time and talk about it? As I find the situation interesting, that you could possibly turn something that was a effing catastrophe into something you can maybe get something out of. And what I mean is, I just found out literally before hitting the record button that Deshaun is in his final year in his contract. If I'm looking at this correctly, the total value of the contract was $230 million fully guaranteed with massages. I'm just kidding, that's not in there. Restructured for 5 years from 2022 to 2026 with void years 2030 to 2030. Yeah, that means the Cleveland's going to be spending money up until that point, but it's a different conversation. Though in 2026, his base salary was reduced to $1.255 million. That's restructured post what I told you what it was earlier. So 2026 cap hit significantly reduced from a whopping $80 million to roughly about $44.95. And he's in his final year of his deal, and is recovering from a 2024 Achilles injury. So he's been injured the entire time he's been in Cleveland, post the whole massage fiasco nonsense with all that is. Seems like a thing of the past now. It seems so long ago because he hasn't played. Well, let me get back on track for a second. The reason I bring it up is the debate has been, do you play Deshaun Watson or do you play Shedeur Sanders? I told you I like Shedeur, being because all the people were hating on him. The people made me a fan of him, is how much hate he got, because I won't even get into that. But if Cleveland wants to do something productive for the team, it could work. You have Shedeur under contract. You have Dylan Gabriel. You have all this fucking quarterback fiasco that you got there. If you could make something out of Deshaun Watson between weeks 1 through 8, you could possibly trade him to somebody and get some collateral for him. You got to get something out of the $230 million that you just blew for basically nothing. There will be somebody that's going to be quarterback needy. If a quarterback goes down, anything can happen weeks 1 through 8 to the trade deadline. But right now he's the kid on the playground with lice. Nobody wants him. Nobody wants to play with him because he has no value. And the reason he has no value is because he hasn't played. Now, if you could get somewhat a fraction of the Deshaun Watson of old, Texans I'm talking about, you might have something in trade and get some type of trade pieces or something out of that deal and get something in return, and then still ride with Shedeur Sanders or whatever like that. I know it's unlikely to happen because you don't want to switch in between quarterbacks, and you definitely don't want to run a damn 2-quarterback system. They might as well just hang the fucking season up if you do that shit. But if I'm a hustler, and I try to figure out some type of way that I'm going to get something out of this. Is, like I said, I just gave up, hypothetically speaking, I'm speaking for the Browns, I just gave up $230 million plus first round picks for a guy who hasn't done nothing but get massages in the offseason post coming in here. So I got to get something out of this deal to make me feel somewhat good out of this whole situation. But it's a tough situation for Todd Monken to be in. I'm surprised he took that job. It's a fucking headache. And I ain't even got the job. It's a headache me thinking about dealing with this whole situation. It's a lot. And I'm curious to see what he does. Year one is his first time becoming a head coach. But that's usually what happens. The jobs you get are the jobs nobody else wants. What do you think? That's what I think. Am I crazy? Does it make sense? I don't know. I'm Blake Anthony. This is another Real. See you next time.